Semitone, bafethu, tshela star now uyabona. Ngenile umoya, ngenile club song, ngeni siyavuma, siyalahlela le number zonke. And now we did a song called Izinjala with on Phantom Slikour ventilation mixtape, and still these guys are delivering. Tell us down bafethu, unsampled. We should be proud as South Africans. We can actually make things on our own without sampling anything. I think they are the only guys that are doing quality, unsampled production.
My take on sampling is I'm definitely not mad at sampling, due to, I know people think we're mad at sampling and stuff, but it's inspiration. Yeah, I think everybody draws inspiration, draws their inspirations from different things, If you find a lot of inspiration from using samples and you come out different and you express yourself the way that you feel you should express yourself, we're using samples and use samples. And but the bottom line is, what we always strive for, and I think every producer strives for, is that you must have an individuality at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're using samples or whatever, or drawing inspiration from whatever, but that's, at the end of the day, it's about getting past the feeling, the nostalgia that you're trying to give people. You know what I'm saying? So sampling is an art, and it's hip hop. It's part of hip hop. It's been like that,
Batini, when I'm in, this is to you. Do you know this? Lama number otatu bocheri uba dlalele.
This is what we call an LP, where about digging in the crates producers, about find about what they call now about what's this guy, Young Guru for Jay-Z, about Just Blaze, about band, but total lento is band.
My man, ngicela uzwe if hip hop yakhe uzokhumbula iBlack Moon ne. Ngicela uzwe. Ngicela ngisampula mhlathwana. Bona la mana yabona apha ngakhiphela la, ngakhiphela ucwale. Khiphela ndoda.
This is where hits are made. You take a sample, which is the origins of hip hop, whereby and this song called Good Times.
You add your own elements to it.
The good times. Ngoba itolo qala leshuka hingang eliyenza ukuthi ithengise
So do you think our Kanye West and all those, would you call it original, or would you just say it's what it is?
No, it's the origins of rap.
Whatever
rap
you listen to, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
for me, it's if you can take something, right, like you call recycling or whatever. You can take something and make it your own, right? Okay. And what I've learned is with a lot of American producers is what they do is they'll just take a song as is and just loop it, and they don't add any elements to it. I mean, even if you listen to my man's track, Le Imali, it's an old sample, South African sample, where they added their own elements and made it their own. But American people don't really do that. They just take a song and just loop it as is, and just enhance it with the equipment. And I don't know, but me now, sampling, dude, the Pete Rocks, Premier. Do you know what I mean? Kanye West, Dr. Dre. I mean, I can play you a lot of stuff that Dr. Dre sampled, and people think
Beat Nuts.
I mean, the new Bastard track. People think that's an original. No.
Yeah, well, technically, Dr. Dre doesn't sample either. Although he replays like a lot of elements from old songs, and he calls that inspiration himself. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure that's what everybody does. But the reason why we don't sample a lot is because we is that we find that because we are able to play the instruments ourselves, and we can I don't know how I'm gonna say this without damage.
It's your trademark more than anything. You know what I'm saying? You've just said it now that it's like everybody must be an individual in what they are doing. You know what I'm saying? And you weren't put in the game by anyone else. You put yourself in the game, and when you put yourself in the game, you knew how to play instruments. So just because you can play instruments, and now that you're getting into hip hop, it doesn't mean that you should basically shelve the talent that God has given you so you can fit in with everybody. It means that you must do what you're doing, and what you have done has made a fucking difference in the industry.
Like, I'll go to movies. When you watch Spider-Man, right? You know, we all know Spider-Man's a remake, Sin City's a remake, a whole lot of movies are remakes, you know what I mean? Does that make them whack? Does that make the director whack? Explain that to me. Movies are tight, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, is taking something that you grew up on and go, okay, let me incorporate it into my lifestyle. And basically that's what I do, and the reason I don't sample a lot of local shit is because it's very hard to get clearances for that. Funny enough, the people are here, but it's very hard than if I sample a Groove Washington track, you know what I mean? You can easily email, make a call overseas or whatever, and I get clearance. So with me, I don't give a fuck about the haters, man. I'm making my loot. Shit. Fuck the haters. Slick, I love you, man, but fuck you.
Man, I was a bitch, man, you know? Fuck. I almost chill the fuck out, man. If I say, I mean, I was just being paranoid, you know? You think that, I mean, my man will tell me that, yo, you know, we need to get a beat from Army. You know, my man is sitting here, he's doing his interview, we had an environment, and he's thinking about that environment. Was supposed to think of was my man supposed to think of Amo? Is he supposed to think of Kanye West? Or is he supposed to think of Dome? You know, because he was questioned about Semitone.
Check out for my next album, which is Untitled, which I'm just saying it because.
Which I'm not producing because the project I sample too much.
So I
get the My Man album. Ngidlala impicture ngiyakthanda. Kodwa musungithetha kanje kumathi go DVD. Ngithanda.
Nah, you know, my man is cool, you know, it's his thoughts, you know, and I appreciate, you know, how he thinks, you know, what it did to us, you know. It's cool that we came with the people that, you know, appreciate what we're doing, you know. And if that's how you feel, that's how you feel.
Do you think you're the only guys that are making quality unsampled music in South Africa?
Nah, there's a lot of people, you know, that I don't know, you know, yet, that make good quality music. But right now in hip-hop, I guess, people just have us as a focus, you know.
Are you saying you're the only people that you do know?
Personally, yes.
I don't think I'd really take my man's statement to the head, you know. I think my man's statement was caught up in the, you know, in the whole situation. I think he is just saying it because probably they're the only ones that he has met, you know, personally, on that level, you know. But like, you know, I wouldn't say that like they're the only ones, but like personally on people that I've worked with, you know, and that probably do know what they're doing, they're the only ones I've also met, you know what I'm saying? But most people, I've heard other people that play their stuff but then, you know, there's always something missing or whatever the case be.
Okay, my next hint is, listen to this. Next time you hear this, it's going to be very different. Look out for that. That's what I'm saying. You heard that shit, right? I can play that shit. I can play that shit. But I'd rather not play that shit. Because I want the grimy shit, you know what I mean? That shit's grimy. That shit was recorded in 1972. You know what I mean? And those motherfuckers had that proper shit. That you motherfuckers that don't know shit, they just rap. There used to be, you know, electric piano. That shit, you used to inflate it. Used to put it on, leave it for 30 minutes while air goes into it. And when you play that shit, it pumps air out. And that's how you get that sound. So you can't get that shit with the digital shit that cats use these days. Fuck all that shit. And motherfuckers gonna come here, try to be musical with their fucking electronic shit and digital shit. Nigga, fuck that. Show me a fucking electric piano in your fucking studio, then we can talk. Unless you have that shit, nigga, just get the proper sound. That's what I'm saying. I want to show my metaphor with labs.
People say things, you know, it's cool, you know, it's what it thinks, it's cool, you know. But you know, there's a lot of people that, you know, like what we do and, you know, like what he does, you know. Just a bit more than he, you know.
And I personally, because I mean, I work both with Amo and Semitone, you know. Me, because I'm in the middle of this shit, I'm saying fuck that whole shit of one hating this for that, because that's exactly what's going on in the industry. It's people that don't understand, that like hate on this shit, that don't understand what hip-hop is about, that hate on this shit, and we also start buying into it. We need to be a little bit more firm, Joe, and know what our shit is about, you know? Plus his statement saying that Semitone doesn't make beats, punchline beats. Where does that come from? You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's so contradictory, because 1 minute, you know, he's going to talk about how we need to be making money, and next minute he's going to talk about he's making punchline beats. I can take an Amo beat and I can make it sound like it's not a punchline beat if I want to. I can make it a punchline beat if I want to. It's either the artist probably aren't creative enough to make his beats like maybe radio friendly, if that's it. If we have to take it there, you know what I'm saying? But that's whack, man. I think it's whack. If you ask me what I think of his comment.
I'm a rapper first, then I'm a producer, you know. It's just that it happens, people come to me for beats, you know. But that's not where my heart is. My heart is actually in rap.
Hey man, one from Vinyl, from Ezod. Listen, tell me if you my man, this is to you. I'm doing all this for you. I come back, truth hurts. DJ Quick. I some sunelo unsampled abantu amasibo ujayivele eklabhini udaki uphethe isifebe simbi kodwa uzotshela mina ngokusampula mhlathi wakho.
So what
ngiyamthanda my man.
What about the unsampling cats?
Ngingakhathile ukuthi ngiyamthanda my man.
Dome's samples are complex, homie. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you've heard Omen samples, crazy shit, you know. You see, all these guys are taking sampling to that other level, Joey. You know, Amo's samples and Dome samples are not the same. If I had to have those two guys only producing my album, and I had 8 songs, you wouldn't think that it's the same thing. Because Dome fucking, jeez, like he puts his legs in it, he puts his arms in it, you know. I don't know what the hell Dome does, but like, I don't even know if Fruity Loops works like that.
What I have a problem, the funny thing is, cats that produce, that don't sample, don't have a problem with guys that sample. Because they understand it's a whole production thing. That's their style, you know what I mean? That's their thing. It's the artists that have beef, and my problem is, the same artists will be bugging me for beats. Are you with me? And then they're gonna go, because I didn't give them a beat because they couldn't afford me. And now they're gonna say I'm on samples. Hell yeah, I gotta charge you because I gotta pay for that sample. Hell yeah, I will charge you. I don't make beats or Fruity Loops, biatch. Cubase costs in Wavelab 5. I'm on Wavelab 5, biatch. That shit is fucking 5 grand, biatch. Fuck around, man. I don't run on Pentium 3.
I ain't mad at sampling, you know. I'm just, you know, I'm good for it. If it's good, if it works, you know. But, you know, I'd rather have somebody sampling me, you know.
And grand.
It's a remake. Sample. They sample. Fuck my man too.
Oh, this is the torture chamber. This is how it looks like. Nekuzalana uzitshela ukuthi uMC yaphunch abo pro kid bayathuka mebefike la. Yaphela ukuma punchline mshala simvele naye.
Fuck my man too.
Simfaka naye wine. My man yathula lo to do.
I'm just like he says, you know, he does what he does, but I mean, like, Dome messes it up. Dome doesn't even make it feel like a sample. You know it's a sample, but it doesn't even make you feel like a sample, you know? Yeah. I think Amo's pattern is more of it's songs that, like, used to be big, you know, or songs that have been heard before, and then he samples those songs and he throws them in, which is a formula. It's a hip-hop formula, you know? So you can't fuck with Amo and say that Amo's wrong, you know. At the end of the day, it's just choice, homie. You know, you can't make an article about Amo and say, yo, is he a beat maker or not? He's doing hip hop, you know. And like, I think because people don't understand hip hop, they want to judge us and they want to say samples. You know what I'm saying? And I think Amo also, like, is just that whole judgment is also fucking with Amo's head, that he thinks that he's not a real producer, and like I'm saying, he feels that he has to be defensive, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like, Semitone here, they do what they do also, you know? And sometimes I think their shit is not even hip-hop, you know? I think that they fucked up, you know what I'm saying? But then at the end of the day, before it's hip-hop, it's music first. And all these people, the one thing they share in common is music. But I still love you, Amo, you know. Everybody wants to be the man, but they don't want to pay the price. Yo, you pay the price to be the man, homie. Don't be insecure. I respect you. We all respect you here. And what Semitone is doing, just because they're not out there like you are, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't think you should hate on what they're doing. They're young, bro. You know, you need to just give them love. You're a veteran. They're young, doing their thing. You need to give them love. Don't hate on their game, homie, because you don't know their capabilities, and that's me, you know. And they're not even undermining your capabilities either, you know, homie. So yeah, I personally thought that's why for you to be like judgmental like that, homie. This is hip hop. It's not Amo and hip hop or Semitone and hip hop. It's hip hop. There's a lot of people doing a lot for the game.